Yes, people. We are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another Manchester United Arsenal show. The Mandem United podcast meets the Gonna Talk from the Arsenal podcast. Big up to everybody who's tuned in. Large up to everyone who's supporting. As always, please keep all your comments, all your questions, Manchester United or Arsenal related. As always, with just Manchester United, there's a lot to discuss. But Arsenal, you know what I'm saying? Still Declan Rice has not been announced. Timber's still not been announced. Manchester United, Andre Onana to United imminent. You've got Fred, reports of new clubs coming in for him. The Anthony Alanga, he could be on his way out as well. So we'll be discussing all those things plus plenty more as well. So look at you lot already, man. Already at double figure likes. So big up to everyone who's locked in. Make sure you hit the like button on the video first and foremost. That's the first thing you do. Whether you're watching live right now or watching this back, hit the like button on the video. Share this across all the socials. And on top of those two things, subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV as well. And normally I'm joined by my Don Cam. He's the Arsenal representative, gonna talk from the Arsenal podcast. Salute to Cam. He's not on, but we bringing on someone who's not only been a special guest on this very show in the past, somebody who is, I always keep saying this, and it is a big compliment when I mention this to people, very level-headed fan. Even when I was talking to him when Arsenal was on their run last season and they looked like they was gonna win the league, he was like, nah, it's not gonna happen. I'm not saying we go and win the league. I'm very knowledgeable as well. And like I said, extremely level-headed and one of the best pro club strikers ever, you know what I'm saying, I've ever played with comfortably. My like Grim is in the building. Yes, Grim, what are you telling me?
This is in guidance. No, I appreciate the intro, man. But before I say anything flawless, I want to say thank you very much for having me on. And
Anytime.
I hope the people, share the likes and all of that because you put in the work. But the bigger thing we want to talk about is Mason Mount getting that 9.5 rating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this guy a joke, man. Is that the sofa score thing? Did he get 9.5 on the sofa score?
I'm hearing someone told me something. I don't think it's a 9.5. I think I'm searching it there, but I heard he did bits in the time that he played.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know anything about our preseason game because I didn't watch. Anything I know is from what other man them have told me that I've been on shows with or people in the comment section. I don't pay attention to preseason. However, you lot played preseason as well.
Yeah, I watched it. I watched it today.
And it was an interesting comment from Arteta on your new big money signing, Kai Havertz, speaking of players from Chelsea. And he said he doesn't, I'm paraphrasing, but he was talking about Kai Havertz and he said he doesn't know where he fits in. Thoughts, or he something along those lines of we'll see where he plays best. So your thoughts on that? We'll start there.
I don't think first and foremost, I want to say, the guys put in a shift today. They played well. There's individual performance from the team. They did their stuff. But in terms of like Kai Havertz, he done absolutely nothing today for us. Absolutely. When I'm telling you 5-yard passes, the brother made a pass, right? It was his error. And the guy's complaining to his teammates that he made a bad pass, bro. It's peak. The season. I don't think anyone's ready for this, bro. I'm telling you.
I am, man. I will be there for that competitive debut for Kai Havertz playing in midfield. I've never looked forward to an Arsenal debut more. Never. I can't wait because you lot play you lot are the early kickoff. Can't remember who you play, but you're 12:30, right? There will be a watch along for that. Because I know City are the Friday, Arsenal are early Saturday. I think who's late Saturday? It might be Liverpool, and then I think it's Spurs who are late Friday, and then Liverpool, I believe, are on the Sunday, and then because it's Liverpool Chelsea, that's one of the Sunday games, and then Manchester United are the Monday as well. I know I forgot one of the big six there. No, I named all of them. Yeah, City, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester United. Who am I missing?
That's some tough fixtures, bro.
I'm missing someone, but yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, Chelsea, it's Chelsea, Liverpool. That's the opening day, I believe. Let me know in the chat, please, people. Let me know. But big up to the chat, as always. Big up Stephanie G in the cut. Big up Jesse, who says, big up everyone. Another midnight stream. We're here, man. Always midnight streams, Monday to Sunday. Midnight streams, people. You know what I'm saying? Doing the most on Monday night. Tuesday night, you get the Manchester United Liverpool show. Wednesday night, Q&A. Thursday, Manchester United Arsenal show. Friday night, you will get obviously it's not quite midnight, but you get the Manchester United show, but then you get the boxing show on the Twitch. So that is technically midnight. Saturday, you get the Manchester United Chelsea Spurs show. And then Sunday, you get the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A people. So yeah, big up to you, Jesse, every single time. He says, Onana to United confirmed. Hey, Sauce Jesse, that's what I need to know with that. Big up Eagle MMA says, what's up, man? Then big up to you as well. That's who it is. Galatasaray in for Fred. Let's see how much United get for him with a year left on his current deal. Because I've seen reports state, don't know how true it is. I think it was from Ritzio that we rejected the first bid because it was below our valuation. So we will see with that as well. Jesse says Fred and Paulina would cook at Fulham. For what Fulham are trying to do, yeah, absolutely as well. But we'll start with the title and your club, Grim. Declan Rice to Arsenal still not announced.
Title Arsenal? Really?
You know what I'm saying?
Same sentence? You gonna do me that? You really gonna do that? Arsenal and title in the same sentence. You really gonna do that?
Not Premier League title, the title of the podcast. Not Premier League title, the title of the podcast to be specific. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, man. So where do I start with Arsenal and Forest, man? Declan Rice joining in. How long do we have to wait? Another 2 more weeks before it happens?
I'm gonna say, why has it not been announced? Because I thought the deal was done, and then people was like, they've not announced it. He's not training with the team. I don't know what's going on, but go on.
Don't hold me to no ITK, but a lot of people are speculating that it's happening tomorrow, apparently, due to the Adidas launch, and both of them having them as sponsors, it will make sense. But I honestly believe that Timber will be in tomorrow and Declan Rice will be in on Monday, because you have to remember, for a player with that amount of money, you want to stretch it as much as possible. If anything, that's one of the biggest news in sports, if anything. So I can see why they would want to stretch it. There's a lot of speculation going on that West Ham are getting frustrated, but I just think that's just rumors, in my opinion. I feel like they're really, with that type of money, you don't just like mess around, you know. There's you look at everyone and be like, okay, cool, this is what I want to do, and you go ahead and do it. But I honestly, I'm not like concerned in terms, if it doesn't happen, that would be a typical Arsenal. Just like someone in the comment section, I'll call this isn't it funny that the goal that we conceded today, that's deja vu settings, bro.
Why was it deja vu settings? What happened with the goal, and why was it deja vu?
Goalkeeper settings. Can't find a man to pass between the lines, find the weirdest options, and then complain why he couldn't find a line instead of just going on the left or right wing, or just hitting it far, and maybe Havertz, the holy boy, will come and save the day. But you know, I can't go on too much on Havertz Forest, to be honest, because there are players that did not live up to the standards of their own abilities. For example, like with Jesus missing that one-on-one, Balogun missing that one-on-one. And, you know, even today when we played, we had Balogun, Eddie, and Jesus in the front three, and they had Havertz behind. So technically, some people may say that's like a four striker, something I've never seen. So it was kind of crazy to actually see that.
False striker, you know, that's mad.
But going back to the Declan Rice, I would say that just get it over and done. I don't really care. At the end of the day, I'm the type of person, when the window's done, that's when I judge my club. So until then, I don't really care whoever they don't get. I make my judgment once the window is closed.
No, that's fair. That's fair. 110%. I fully understand that. Everybody in the chat, continue to get your questions in, people. Please just keep them Manchester United or Arsenal related. It doesn't have to be on something we have discussed. It can be something else. That's absolutely fine. And if you do indeed super chat, we will get straight to your question as well. There's now 50 of you lot in the building. Let's bump up these likes, though. We're only at 22 likes. Like check 1212. Let's bump up these likes, people. Let's get up to 40 likes. That's what we're aiming for. That is the next step. And make sure you subscribe to the channel as well, Sarcasm City TV. We are at 7,188 subscribers, I believe. I'm just refreshing the screen right now. Yeah, it was up to 7,190. We're only looking for 2 subscribers, people. You know what I'm saying? Actually, no, we're at 7,180. Sorry, my bad. Get us to 7,185 people. We're looking for 5 more subscribers, people. 5 more subscribers. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Get us to 7,185, please, people. There's now over 55 of you lot in there. And make sure you hit the like button as soon as you land, and make sure you subscribe. Make sure you retweet and share from the @Sarcasm City TV socials as well. Big up Jacob, United Spurs of America in the cut. Big up Shikar as well. Good to see so many green usernames with the members. But so let's say, for example, Grim, you get Rice, that's announced, which probably will be done. Timber as well. Obviously, minus the Havertz deal. That's 2 good deals. What else would you like? What other positions would you like to see Arsenal go and improve? And if there's any set players that you want for them said positions, obviously let us know as well.
Well, if they are speaking about they're unsure if they're keeping Partey.
Yeah.
And to get rid of him, you need to find a suitable replacement. And there's only 2 people, I would say, at this moment for what we need that got my attention. One, which is unlikely, which is being Choupo-Moting. I don't think that will ever happen. But if you ask me for what I want, then that's another thing. Also,
Choupo-Moting was crazy.
Kessie is on my list as well. Kessie's a lot of people don't talk about it. He's on the bracket. I think the last time I checked was like 40-45 million. It wasn't too much to go for him. So that will be me. But in terms of getting rid of Xhaka, my thoughts on Xhaka. I've never been a fan of him, but you will have to find, if you're getting rid of the midfield, you have to find suitable replacements. When you look at left back, you also have the question with is Tini going to stay or is he going? And then you also have to look at right back. I think it's time that we get a suitable right back for this whole thing of converting a centre back into a right back or playing inverted. Like, just get a guy that for his
with the inverted thing. Why are you not with it?
If that's the only thing that you can do, then I'm not with it. But versatility is a massive thing in defense or in football in general. Like you have to be able to, to perform on different levels. Like, for example, when you look at people, for example, like Trent, he can't defend, but at least he can make a cross. There's a substitute with it or something, so that's all what we have to look at. But in terms of, I would say left back, right back, an extra midfielder to go alongside Rice. If we're not getting rid of Partey, then that's fine. But the likes of Moses Caicedo, I think that's done. I don't think we'll be able to get him no more. And if we are, I think we should really get in for him.
Yeah.
I think it's really in for him, but definitely, is that what they're saying though? Is Chelsea guaranteed? Is it confirmed?
Yeah, well, it's not confirmed, but they're the only team who I know they've agreed personal terms with him, and they're just trying to sort out the actual transfer fee with Brighton. Nobody else has offered in personal terms, to my knowledge, and no one else has been in talks with Brighton in regards to getting Caicedo either. So it seems like he's Chelsea bound, but we will see. And just back to that as well, to someone who mentioned right at the start, I think it was you, Jesse, who said Onana confirmed. Let me know the source of that. But go on, carry on, Grim.
Yeah, so when you look at, oh my gosh, I think we have a big list of players that we need to get rid of first before I even think about who do I want in, honestly. I'd rather have some people out first, then I know eradicate those problems, being Rob Holding, Cedric, the list goes on, being those guys. And because once it wasn't our first 11 today, but once we made those, I would say the bench players came in, the B team, they would like to call. You can see the drop off is massive. It's absolutely massive in terms of like quality, understanding. And I know they don't play together and stuff like that. So you can't really knock them down for that. I had someone send me a message today apparently saying that I asked, what did Havertz do today? And he said to me, it's just preseason, it's rusty. I don't care. Even Arsene Wenger looks well in the charity match, better than what Kai Havertz did.
True, so he sent Zidane in the charity match for those I've seen that picture. That's hilarious. Man sent Zidane.
The only thing Havertz sent was a ball to the corner line, bro. That's all he said, bro. Was a throw it to the corner line. That's all he did for flawless, man. But I would say I'll go looking at Arsenal. If we can get in 2 more signings, bro, I'll be mad happy. I can't like just 2 more signings.
What 2 signings where in terms of what positions would you like?
Well, I would say a midfielder and I would say a striker. I don't have time to be playing around with the striker stuff now.
So you want a certified number 9 better than Jesus, and you're looking for a midfielder, I'm guessing, to partner Rice. and be in the midfield with Odegaard.
Definitely.
Okay.
Someone that can interchange, whether they can drop back or whether they can be like a box to box or read the game in total. So that's what I'm saying. Ideally, I would like a young midfielder, energetic, that he can work around, build time to have that chemistry with the players.
Lavia, for example?
Yeah,
is he for that bill? Okay, I was just asking. I'm a big fan of Lavia. Me, I'm a big fan.
Definitely, man. We were linked to him apparently.
Yes, you have been linked to him.
To link with him. But Arsenal's that type of team. Watching them over the years, if it's the right thing to do, then they don't do it. That's just how they are.
If it's the right thing to do, they don't do it. That's funny.
They just don't. I just look at them and hopefully, my number one striker. I don't care if any other striker come into this world. It has to be, for example, Onana. Osimhen, sorry.
Osimhen, yeah. Sorry, I was reading the chat. When you said Onana, that's how it caught me off guard.
Yeah, that's how I was reading myself.
So you're saying Osimhen, yeah. So you're looking for a certified bad boy.
I'm telling you, finish my chances.
Be like you on pro clubs is what you're asking.
That be better than me, man. I've been slacking recently, man. I've been hearing a lot of
this guy.
I'll show them how it's actually done, Flores. I was saying. But I would say finish those chances, because when you look at it, Flores, you have an energetic left winger, which is Martinelli, Saka. They're willing to make that overlap run and stuff. And the longer you wait for if it's going to work, those players are gonna either get tire out or get injured. Like with Saka, he's still playing right now, bro. He's not getting no form of rest.
Yeah,
and it's ridiculous.
He had the summer, and then that was it. No, I hear you, fam. I hear you.
So I would say with the abilities that they have now, I really feel like I would say I wouldn't say give Jesus one more season, because I can see what it's like already. Converting him from a winger into a striker and saying that's where he wanted to play, to finding out that the reason why he left City is because Pep made him cry. Like, come on, bro. Like, because I think he didn't play in the Champions League or something. Jesus was saying that Pep made him cry.
Wait, made him cry in what sense?
In the Champions League, because he didn't play him or something. It was all
But
I was like, I got a bunch of cryers, man. I got Zinchenko crying. Even William Gallas was crying back on the pitch, bro.
It's bad for you lot. It's bad for you lot in that sense. But that Zinchenko one is so bad. That is so bad. Yeah,
so bad. But we understand it, my thoughts they run over there, whatever. But I get it, but at least just put that passion, that same crying, but just put that on the pitch, bro. No one ain't got time to worry about that. You can cry when you win the Premier League. Everyone will cry for you. When you win the Champions League, everyone will cry. FA Cup,
that's facts.
Everyone will cry then. That's when people will cry, bro. But ain't no one crying now, bro. This world right now that we're living in, bro, is emotionless, bro. There ain't no one crying about now. You crying. You got a lot of emotions on you, bro. Trust me, that. So just looking at it on a whole, my team, I would say, even if we get, a while ago you mentioned in terms of getting the Declan Rice, even if we get Declan Rice, it doesn't, I think it still keeps us in the position where we finished last year.
Yeah.
And because ideally goals win games and defense wins you titles. So you have to be able to have a balance of the two. And if we can finish off the back end of the season, then that'll be good. Because one thing I have to give Declan Rice, he has a lot of passion for this. The price is a little bit too much. But with the passion, some people can be passionate, but the work rate is not there. I have to give him that, because I checked the stats that he was first place for interceptions in the Premier League, which is not bad stats to have,
Yeah, that's one of them stats that's actually good. If man's first choice for interceptions, that's a good stat. That's not just created chances or created the most chances that led to shots or most progressive passes. Like I always say with stats, one thing that stats can't do is tell you the quality of a pass. Facts. Maybe assist to an extent, that's it. Me and Grim can both be playing in midfield. We can both have 10 out of 10 in progressive passing. Grim's can be excellent. Mine could have been terrible. You know what I'm saying? It was short into the player. They bubbled into it. It was knee height. It was chest height. They got fouled. They had to stretch. It was overhit. It was underhit, but it was all still classed as successful. But go on, carry on.
Exactly that. Like that's like Shaka making the 5 yards pass and everyone saying he's a brilliant passer. But he's gone anyway, so I end up
Yeah, he's gone,
I
man. Jack is
spoke to
gone.
some
Jack is gone.
people. I made them pay for the cab service on his way over there, and I wish him all the best. Long may continue. You wasted 5 years of my life, hopefully I can get it back by watching beautiful football this year. And thank you again for wasting my time, Shaka. Well done. Well
And you
done.
kind of answered this from Shikari. So, question for Grim: did you tune into the preseason game for Arsenal? And if yes, thoughts on Havertz's performance? Heard he had a stinker. Ironically, this is the word you use.
He
Stinker.
did not. To be fair, he had a stinker in
Yeah,
terms of his passing, his positioning. Because when you buy players for us, especially when it's a new player, with Kai Havertz, we watch the Premier League. We're men of football, so we know what
we are men of
football's
football,
about. Yeah. So looking at it, I kind of knew what I was expected to see. So in terms of seeing it, I was expecting to be like, okay, cool, because it's Arsenal's a bit more flowing football. He'll have more time. But in reality, I don't think just looking at this match, and I know it's a lot to judge on this match, I don't think he has the ability to keep up with the play based off little glimpses of what I saw today. Because every time the players run up forward, he's still either trying to trap to go offside, or he's making that run when Jesus is already gone, Saka's already gone, and Nketiah is already gone. So I really hope that's just a thing of someone messaged me, like I said today, the message that he's rusty or whatever. But every time I look at Havertz, he's always rusty. So I don't know what type of rust they're talking about. Maybe spray some WD-40 on that, and then hopefully you'll be able to have a new machine again or something. But right about now, that ain't the one. In terms of my rating, personally, I won't even be harsh. I would just give him a solid 5. That's it.
Okay.
Just came in
and was just okay. He was just there.
Yeah. Just like that.
He was just there. He wasn't like it's not nothing to write. Oh my God, Havertz play.
Because I'm kind of like old school for it. 65 million is a lot of money. I'm not going on this thing. I'm not going on this thing like it needs to be 100 million. I've gone back in the days when it was 10 million for a player. Arsenal days 10, 12 million, and that's a lot for a player. So I know times have changed and I need to go in with the times, but I still believe that is a lot of money for any individual on this planet, bro. I don't care what you do, you have to be scoring at least every game for you to be. That's how I see it. But fair enough, you do your work, you put in your time, and you get the results or whatever. But 65 million for us is a lot of money to be.
100%.
You should be able. Your passing accuracy should be able to be over 80. You should be able to have a vision in terms of making a simple pass, at least one assist or at least a key chance to a goal or something for that type of money. So at the moment, it's underwhelming, and everyone will be like, "Oh, great, you know what? It's just preseason, yada yada." I see this time and time again, bro. I'm telling you, if he has to be the focal length or the pinnacle to take that step over the line. I saw a pass today, Flores. Before I move forward, I saw a pass today between
Havertz. You got a lot to
say.
Get off your chest.
I saw a pass between Havertz and Jorginho today, and that reminded me so much of a Chelsea match. They both looked at each other, Flores, and be like, "I thought you was there, bro." I was like, "Nah,
let me ask you a question because you watched the game. Did they play in the midfield at any point together, or did one get taken?
Yeah, they were close to each other. They were close to each other.
So
they
it was
were
like
very,
a midfield three, and it was Havertz.
I would say
Jorginho, Havertz, and somebody else in the midfield.
I would say at one point it was Jorginho in the 6 and Havertz in the 8, right? And then so basically they were close to each other, trying to play that tiki-taka football.
Yeah, that's them in the midfield.
And Jorginho, like I mentioned last time, pointing in the direction that he wants to pass the ball. I just gave up, bro. Honestly, I gave up. The goal we considered, again, like I said, was the keeper trying to find someone to be open. No one's calling for a shot or whatever. And then just whip it into someone and just take a wicked deflection into goal, bro. I don't even know who it hit. It's one of those ones. I didn't even know if it was an own goal or the guy got the goal, to be honest. I didn't even check. It was one of those ones. But it was actually, when you look at it and you say to yourself, the star players, for example, Saka, and Nketiah was just free roaming, just making his P's as normal. Jesus being in the CDM position. I don't know what he's doing there. You're a striker, my bro. Why are you tracking back so much for, my guy? Be up top. We need you to score. That's what we need you to do. Yeah,
Facts.
this thing of Lacazette. Lacazette was my guy before. That's what Lacazette used to do. And the reason why we got rid of Lacazette because he was doing that. And now when
Yeah.
Lacazette left, he got a good amount of goal. I think it was like 24 goals or whatever it is when he left. So the question that you have to ask yourself, I'm not too sure yet because it's very much of a young team, but can Arteta manage strikers? Can Arteta take strikers to the next level? Can he give them good work rate? Yes. Can he help them out and guide them? Possibly, yes, because at the end of the day, as much as I don't believe in this guy's philosophy and the stuff that he does, you don't go to work every day and not learn something from one of the best managers in the world, you know? So you must learn something. And then you can see that his style of play is similar to how he wants to play, playing teeny inverted, playing Ben White. To be fair, I have to give Ben White a lot of praise. I used to call him a championship player based off how he plays this simple, but you can see the
He did well last
progression.
season. He did do well
Yeah,
last season for you, lot. He did.
you can. A lot of people will try to take my head off for this by saying that I must be crazy, but I can see Arteta trying to play him similar to like the John Stones role. Because I saw a lot of Ben White doing that play, like running into the middle, very composed on the ball. I was very surprised, you know. I know he has it in him, but in the middle when people are running at you to still be composed says a lot about the player. So I have to give him his flowers for that, man. Well done. But when for example, the youngest came in, the centre backs, they played well. You know, they helped the line. You can see they tried to play the Arsenal way. You know, I watched the academy team a lot and stuff like that. And the academy, some of the players that play today can, if they really want it, they can take it and go to that next step. Bench some players, man. That's what we need. We need players to be like, you know what, bro, you sitting on the bench there. This is my time. That's what we need, man. But definitely.
First. Said a lot, man. It's all well and good. Now over 70 of you lot in the building. Let's bump up these likes still at 42 likes. Like check 1212. Let's get us up to 60 likes, people. When you enter the city of sarcasm, pay the tax, people. It's tax free. Hit that like button and hit the subscribe button as well. We're still at 7,180. We're only looking for 5 new subscribers. There's over 70 of you lot in the building. I know there's at least 5 people watching the show live right now who haven't hit that subscribe button. Make sure you do so. And if you're watching it back, don't think you're in the same boat as well, people. If you're watching this back, make sure you hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. And even if you're listening after this on one of the audio platforms, if it's SoundCloud, if you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, you're in the same boat as well. Make sure whatever platform audio platform you are listening on, you follow. So follow on SoundCloud, you follow on Spotify, and if it's iTunes, you leave us a review, 5 stars, all that good stuff as well, people. And continue to share this across all of the socials as well. Open up some new tabs, people. We're trying to get over 100 people in here. So open up some new tabs on a different web browser. Well, go to a different web browser if you are on your PC or Mac, and you know what I'm saying, and open it up, like I said, on a different browser. Let's see what else you lot are saying in here as well. Breaking. This is from M. Says Galatasaray have approached Manchester United to sign Fred. Opening proposal already submitted. Was rejected by Manchester United. Transfer fee was below expectations. So this is from Fabrizio Romano. See, people, that's why you gotta be patient because things can get a move on like this. People are like, oh, Manchester United not getting rid of the Deadwood. Today we've had Fred news, we've had Alex Tellez news, and we've had Favour Alanga news as well. Because not only did I see Everton, I believe it was Nottingham Forest, Dean Henderson as well. That's 4. Don't know what's going to happen with Scott McTominay, 5, Harry Maguire, 6. The list goes on. Never mind Brandon Williams, Eric Bailly, etc. Like the list goes on. Already let go of Phil Jones. De Gea's already gone. This is why people need to be patient. Say this all the time. And also to Warrior J, who says here, Manchester United and Inter are closing in on final details of the deal. All parties expect Onana to become a new Manchester United player in the next few hours. That's also from Fabrizio Romano. And that was someone just earlier talking about, Manchester United move slow in the window. I said, no, Manchester United don't move slow in the window. It's just the fact that you're on social media all day long, and it seems we're moving slow because you got content creators like myself and others talking about it. You got Fabrizio Romano tweeting about it. You got other credible journalists tweeting about it. You have non-credible journalists tweet about it. You got fans tweeting about it all day long. So it seems, quote unquote, we're moving slow. We had Mount only got announced, 2 weeks ago? And it seems we're going to sign Onana like in the next few hours, it's saying. So that's 2 players in 2 weeks. That's quick.
Congratulations to that, though, Flawless. So
That's
that's
quick.
a very good signing.
Yeah, I like Onana's quick. And it's just more so. That's why I tell people all the time, relax. And people even talk about getting rid of the Deadwood players. Like, it's the 14th of September and the window's closed. It's like the window don't close till September the 1st. It's now technically it's the 14th of July. Like, it's just relax and see what's what. And like I say, if Fred moves on, there's Al Nasser interested in Alex Tellers, like I said, Alanga. So that's 3 players who could potentially be on the move. Dean Henderson, that's 4 in terms of offers and genuine interest. And we rejected the bid for Fred. We don't know what the price was. With Alanga, the reports is saying it's 15 to 20 million, which is also good as well. So people just need to relax. But yeah, Onana, great deal if it gets done. And I expect it. They did say it was this week. I expect it to get done probably now in the next few hours if Fabrizio Romano and others are saying that as well. M goes on to say, and I've seen this earlier on the fan calling show. Shout out to Matthew because he posted this, but big up to you, M. Says Manchester United will listen to offers for any one of Jadon Sancho, Harry Maguire, Anthony Martial, and Scott McTominay if it will generate enough money to get the players they want. That's from Chris Wheeler DM. Again, players, I'm happy to get rid of any of them players. Jadon Sancho for the right price, cool. Maguire, whatever we get is the right price. If someone says here's 10 million, you snap their arm off. Martial, same. Time to move him on. Scott McTominay. Like I've been saying today, when I was talking with Rance yesterday, I'm pretty much tired of these players. I have no attachment to these players that have been here over a long period of time and have seen us and we've seen fail. Like, is it all on them? No, but it's time to move them on. Jadon Sancho, I like him, super talented, but I just don't see him being successful here. Harry Maguire goes without saying. What's understood ain't got to be spoken about. Martial can't stay fit, and it seems injuries have taken its toll. Scott
That's
McTominay,
my boy, man.
Thank you for your service. Not good enough. Who Martial? Take him at Arsenal, man.
That's what I would take him any day of the week,
Arsenal.
brother.
You don't.
I would
That's
take
a
him
terrible
any
friend.
day of the week, bro. Martial is my boy. Yeah, I support France. That's my
you part French, right?
team. Yeah. So
that's why. It's a
I support him. No, and it's also the fact that he's a brilliant striker. Yeah, we know he has off the pitch duties to perform.
He's not,
working
man.
on.
I'm telling you, he's not. Big up to what I'm saying. We got Voldemort in the building. Tom Riddle says big up to all that's putting that work. And hey, salute to you, man. I'm saying one of my favorite book series, man, Harry Potter. So hey, Voldemort, big up to you. Good to see you in the chat, man. Good to see you in the chat. Let's see what else you lot are saying as well. Paul says, question to Grim, will Trossard be a starter or a super sub? It's a good question, actually.
I would, you see, I've been a massive fan of Trossard for years. I really wanted him to Arsenal because he kind of, I wouldn't say close to it, but he reminds me so much of Santi Cazorla with the little foot movement that he does. And I would say if he takes it serious, he has the ability to, I would say, to bench Odegaard, in my opinion, because of the way he plays.
Say
if you look
he has the ability to bench your captain.
Yeah, he has the ability. But you see, with Flawless, bro, come on.
Talk about
This
it.
is me. This is me. The captaincy has been put in the bin a long time ago, bro. This captaincy of Arsenal was in the bin a long, long time ago. I can't bring that up. For the last true captain I saw was probably Cesc Fabregas, and how dare you give it to Cesc Fabregas when he had other people? But anyway, yeah. But the reason why I say that, is if you look at the stats that the guy put, I think he had like 10 assists coming in January. And his
I rate
style of
play. Don't get mistaken. I just didn't expect you to say that. I thought he was going to say maybe the wide position, maybe even as a false 9. Well, yeah, go on, carry on. I just didn't expect you to say Odegaard, but carry on.
You see, maybe it's just a preference in terms of player, in terms of what I want to watch, but I'm a massive fan of Trossard. Like I said, I don't think he wants to be that player that starts based off his attitude, the way he carries himself on the pitch. Like, he will give you 100%, but I think he's a guy that come and does his job and go home type of guy, but the passion for it, I really, really wish he had it, to like just put, like I said a while ago, benching players, like say to this guy that you're not coming back home for the next 5 matches or the next 10 matches, bro, until I'm ready for you to come back on. It ain't nothing personal, but I'm coming to perform. And when I look at in the Premier League, a lot of the things that are missing in the Premier League are players that can work in tight spaces, and to have that and not to utilize it and put it on the bench, I think it's really sad, because I think you could have easily gotten away with not getting Havertz and putting Trossard in the eight, and having keeping Odegaard where it is for everyone to be happy. But this whole thing about Odegaard being the golden boy, nah, he still has a lot to work on. You see, the ceiling, the expectations that I have for certain players should be at a high ceiling, especially coming from Real Madrid. That should be like a standard within you, because at the end of the day, you were the golden kid. You know, you were the chosen one. You were supposed to be the next protege. You know, unfortunately, things didn't happen and how it wanted to. You know, because I watched his interviews in terms of going back and forth was challenging for him and all of that. And I get that. Now he's found Arsenal to settle down and stuff. But there's a lot of things that I see that he can actually even work on. And maybe due to the fact that Trossard, I would say, play more games on a higher level than him, that has given him the experience. But I really believe if Odegaard really wants to take it to the next level, first of all, he needs to finish his chances, or he needs to shoot. Like you say to me on Pro Club Swallow, shoot, man, shoot. Yeah. Don't just wait and try to force it around the keeper or something.
You gotta
Shoot.
shoot. Yeah,
Just shoot. If it hits off the keeper, get the stinky deflection, you win the championship. You know what I'm saying? And then you call it a day, bro. But now you really need to just shoot. I can see sometimes the passes that I make is kind of like it's really good. Like Ozil, and Ozil's been another guy. I was a big fan of him, just watching him in Real Madrid days and all that. So to see Odegaard, playing, I wouldn't say similar, but you can see the comparisons in certain things that they do, especially with the shot that he made when he hit it on the floor before it went in. That's typical Ozil would do in terms of when a cross or something is coming in. So the ability is there for us. I think Odegaard really has to be not playing as a squad player, but take the abilities and say, I'm that guy, instead of playing for the team. He has to be the same way, for example, his fellow countryman, Haaland, is doing bits for Man City. If I would say if they're the two stars, the stars for the national team, then he has to really, he's done well this season, but for the ceiling I see this guy can reach, he's not there yet, in my opinion.
No, that's fair enough. And that being said, more breaking news: Besiktas have submitted an offer to sign Rob Holding from Arsenal. Proposal for centre back worth €2.5 million, far below what Arsenal might consider to sell, and will be rejected. That's from David Ornstein. Thoughts on this? Are you happy to see him go? Would you have sold him for the €2.5 million? You're looking for more? Talk to us.
You can give it 1.5. I'll take it. It's cool. We're giving them too much, my guy. We're giving them too much. Bob Bolden, bro.
I called him Bob Holding. Yeah. You taking liberties. You taking liberties.
Listen for us, bro. Arsenal did this thing where they brought in a guy, right, to keep them in the top four. They tried it didn't work. Then you find yourself in a position which is trying to win the league. You try the same method again. But okay, it's unfortunate that Saliba got injured, because I think that would have played a big factor in the latter stage of the season. But in terms of Rob Holding, bro, this guy composure at the back makes me nervous for this. When I tell you that whenever this guy gets the ball, I'm like, bro, just pass it to anyone as quickly as possible, bro. When I'm telling you defending, this guy makes defending look good, bro. That's how much I don't want him. And everyone will be like, bro, that's harsh, bro. Road Holding will put a solid 7 or whatever. Nah, bro, it's just one of those guys that come in. I'm surprised I'm playing for Arsenal. It's been a dream. I got the posters in my room. I got the Arsenal shirt when I was 5 or whatever it is. And nah, man, we ain't got time for that, bro. He's not the answer. Get rid of him. 1.5. If they can get 1 million, take it and cut. Because right now, we chopping wood. Because right now we got timber in the building. Yeah.
Okay, this guy with the timber, the timber upon him, man. This guy, the joke, man. You're a joke, man, for real. Adam, switching back to United, says Di Marzio said it's already done, so probably be in the morning. I hope to wake up and the deal's done. That's what I'm hoping for. I hope so. Joe R says the club's going to cry about a couple million and cost us 6 to 9 points over a striker, just like last season, bro. Thank God this is the last time we have to deal with them. Deal with who, Joe? I'm confused. This is why I wanted to get to this. Deal with who? I'm lost here. Big up Mbuna as well. Says just smash the like with you, bro. We brutally honest. Hey, big up, man. You know what I'm saying? Much appreciated. Football is the game. Says question is Partey staying or leaving? Plus what's going on with Nicholas Pepe and Balogun? I love how people ask these questions like we have the answers. It's brilliant. But yeah, go on.
I really hope that Partey do stay. I can't see in terms of hearing the rumors about I think the off the pitch rumors that are going on is affecting his play, and I think he wants to leave because the last time I checked that you guys was in offer for him
For who? For
for
who?
Partey.
That's a rumor that came out, but there's been no
Mm,
credible source with that. There's been
yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
credible source. You know what I'm saying?
So
So like that's why I take that with a pinch of salt for real, for real. But
who
go on,
was the
carry
other
on.
person he mentioned for it?
He mentioned
Partey.
Partey staying or leaving, and he said, "What's going on with Nicholas Pepe and Balogun for
Yeah,
free
Nicholas
players?" He asked about.
Nick Ballot. You see, we'll go to Nicholas Pepe. Nicholas
Yeah,
Pepe again is one of my favorite players. It's a
is he
shame
part
that the
French?
type
Is he of French descent?
he's from Ivory Coast,
I know
right?
he's Ivory Coast, but what's his
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
European heritage?
I'm not
Or is he
too
just fully
sure.
Ivory Coast? All
I
right,
think
cool.
it's
I didn't
fully
know.
Ivory Coast.
Is
Yeah,
he
yeah,
fully
yeah.
Ivory Coast? All right, fair. Go on, carry on, carry on.
But it's a shame the style of play that we play in does not suit his game style. He's the type of player to look at someone and probably do 5 dribbles, come back on the guy and beat him again. That flamboyant type of football. And and watching that over the years, it's something that has died down for us. I can't be honest. We seem to play very like pass and move, and no one does like a Robona or something just over someone's head. I don't really see that as much in football. Pepe possesses that ability. Even Pepe's dad said that his passion in the game is not there. And anyone that doesn't have the passion, that's why I cut it with him. If he doesn't have the passion for football, I'd really, as much as I like the player, I really don't want him at the club if he doesn't have the passion. But
Yeah,
you also look at Balogun as well. I think today, looking at his body language showed that a lot of arrogance, and it's good to have a lot of arrogance in football because you believe you're that guy. But once you have that arrogance and you miss that chance where you go around the keeper, he literally went around the keeper for us and scuffed it into the right side of the post. Post. What did he hit the post? No,
I
no,
didn't
the
I
netting.
didn't see that.
Sorry. Yeah, the netting. So he hit the
Mm.
right side. He literally passed the keeper. It was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. Maybe it's just a little bit of rust and stuff. I don't really judge people in terms of preseason. That's what it's there for, to get match fitness, so that when the
Oh
time
yeah, yeah,
comes,
yeah.
you don't
Of
do
course.
those things. But
Yeah, it's
I would
finished.
love
It's
to keep
finished.
Balogun. I would love to keep Balogun. I would sell Nketiah, keep Balogun. I would try
Mm.
to keep Partey, but if everything is going on, I can understand his wishes. And the last person again, so Balogun,
Pepe.
Partey, and
Yeah,
Pepe.
Pepe. That
Pepe
was the
Pepe
three.
is the
Yeah.
passion. So no, I will only keep one out the three, which is
First,
Partey. If he
fair.
if he if he could stay, if he look at it and say to himself that he can drown out the noise, because when I look at the matches and stuff, everyone's booing him in every match that I watch. So I think it's really getting to him and he just wants to change. So, but if he can go beyond that, and that's not affecting his gameplay as the season
Mm.
goes by, then stay. But if he doesn't believe he can manage that, then go keep it slipping. We'll find someone. But it's a shame. Partey is like one of my favorite Arsenal players. So to see him go would be a shame. But I really hope that we can have a like for like replacement or someone better than him. It will be hard to find in that role, but
Mm.
hopefully that we can find someone.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Large up, everyone tapped in. Still just under. Well, now just under 90 of you lot in the building at 53 likes though. Decent ratio, but we can do better than that, people. So let's get that up to 70 likes, man. Like check 1212. You're clearly here enjoying the content. So let's bump up the likes. Continue to get your questions in. Please keep them Manchester United or Arsenal related. Don't forget, link for the membership is in the pinned comment as well, people. Many great perks, including how to get on the channel. Link is in the pinned comment. 3 different levels. Make sure you check it out. Now over 90 of you lot, and we still not had no new subscribers. And I know everybody watching right now has not hit that subscribe button. You're clearly here enter the city of Sarcasm, pay the tax when you enter the city, people, and hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. I need you lot to share this across all socials so we can get over 100 people in here. I want to crack over 100 people in the building on this show before we do indeed close out. We're still at 7,180. I'm looking for 5 new subscribers. I need you lot to do those 3 things for me. Get us up to 70 likes. Get us share this across the socials so we get over 100 people in here. Go to my Twitter and Instagram, or even at Sarcasm City TV, or at That's Me Flawless, and subscribe. We're currently at 7,181. Come on, you lot got to support. You know what I'm saying? Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share button. Like, share, subscribe, and continue to get them questions in as well. Oh, Adam, you're talking about the Glazers. All right, I was confused. But all right, that makes sense. Now that you say that, we'll see. I do agree with you, Adam, in regards, I wouldn't pay over 50 million for Højlund either. I do agree with that. If that is true in regards to the 85 million, United won't pay 85 million. That's for sure fake news. Yeah, I don't think anyone reliable has said that price to my knowledge, but that's way too much. We should walk away. Go on.
Question. Are you in approval of getting a striker this season, or is that
we need bare minimum season? 2. We need bare minimum 2 strikers. We don't have any strikers, fam. Martial can't stay fit and is not good enough. Injuries have taken their toll. We have no senior strikers. So we need bare minimum 2. In the ideal world, 3.
Who would you go, like, in terms of the strikers that I would say admire at the moment? Because I don't know. I've never asked that question. Who would you
we never spoke.
Say
I would still go and get Ivan Toney and just get him in for January. I'd go do the deal with Brentford right now, go negotiate from a position of power. His contract runs out, I believe, 2025. So once he comes back in 2024, plays the rest of the season, if he performs at the level we expect him to, he's got a year left on his deal. So you go to Brentford and say, all right, here's 50 M's, 60 M's for a player you can't use for 6 months. So then, boom, you do that. You go get him. He's there for January. Then you go and get, I like the Højlund link because of profile, but not for that price. But if it's not Højlund, I'd go get that type of striker. And then I'd go get someone even younger than Højlund. Because I think Højlund is like 21. I'd go get someone who's like 18, 19, who's just got straight raw attributes. So someone who's just like electric, or someone who's just a great finisher, or someone who's just great at hold-up play, and is just your third choice. Who you're not going to see too often is someone you can develop, maybe sell on, or maybe send out on loan. But that's who I would go. I'd go get Toney for the game in January. I'd go get Højlund or somebody like Højlund to play up top, and then go get a backup to Højlund for the first half of the season in a teenager. Similar to how we got Garnacho, and you've seen Garnacho deputize on the left-hand side. I would go get a Garnacho-esque level player to play up top. But that's just me. Yeah, go on.
Question for us. In terms of, I've always been an admirer of him. What's your thoughts on Patrick Bamford?
Too injury prone. I rated him at one point, not for Manchester United. I don't think he's nowhere near that level, but I did rate him at one point. And then around the COVID time, I remember he got COVID and he was out for a long time. And then ever since then, he seems to be too injury prone, but he gets goals, but he's not. I want a mobile striker up top. Bring me someone who's mobile.
I was thinking more of your third option.
I don't think he'd accept that, though. Him as a third option would be calm, but I don't think he's accepting of that when he can play at Leeds or he can go somewhere else in the Premier League and play first team football. So he's not going to want to accept that being a third choice. It'd be great to take another player off Leeds because it's fuck Leeds always, but yeah, he's not going to accept that. That's why I just go get someone who's like 18, 19. Like I said, Garnacho-esque, but to play up top. Or someone of Garnacho's level with different attributes. Just go get
like
someone for 600k. Yeah,
like
just go get someone. Yeah, like an Alvarez. Go get someone from 800k from wherever who's young, who can play who can be second choice for 6 months until you.
Who wants to make his family proud, bro? Just get someone
man.
like that, bro.
That's all you need to do, and it's like that's legit. That's all I would say. Because like I said, Martial can't stay fit. Even if I thought Martial was good enough and injuries haven't taken their toll, which I think is the case anyway, in terms of injuries taking its toll. But let's say I didn't think that and I thought he was still good enough. He don't stay fit. He's injured now. He's injured again.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't rely on that. Can't rely on that.
Can't.
So it's like, you're no use to me. You know what I'm saying? You're just never, ever like, I'm done.
as much
And
as being a big admirer, even I have to say that's enough.
mhm,
Even I got to say that, man, because at the end of
time
the
to
day,
move him on.
availability is
Yeah,
the best form. It's the only
it
way,
is.
bro. It's the only way
Facts.
it's gonna work out. And if you're not available, it's kind of like I dare mention his name, Robin van Persie. It's kind of like him not being available, and yeah.
Facts. And Joel says, I'm really anticipating a good season from Maino. He's literally one of the most intelligent players at the club. I know people have been waxing lyrical about him because of the preseason game against Leeds. I've not watched him, so I can't tell you anything about him. I can't say you're right here, Joe. I can't say you're wrong. I know next to nothing about him. I don't even think. Have I even seen him play? In fact, I might have seen him play once. If he got like a senior appearance last season off the bench. I don't even remember seeing him. And Football is the Game says Flawless will find someone low key like that and still charges 100 M's. We'll go elsewhere. You can legit go and find somebody who is low key. It can be done. You just have to scout in the right place. Even if you have to go South America, go South America. They're not going to charge you an arm and a leg. I'm saying like Caicedo going from Ecuador, go Ecuador. You see, or what's the name of the guy from Paraguay? I forgot his name. He was at Brighton, but they signed a player from Paraguay. So if you gotta go
Yeah.
Ecuador, Paraguay, say if you gotta go Bolivia, Venezuela, just go get. You know what I'm saying? Just go get one of the fellas from the favelas, as
Yeah,
Double A
exactly,
says.
man. That's what I
It's
would
6 months.
say.
They ain't gonna cost a
Facts.
lot. They gonna accept 5-10 mil. Like obviously, if you're NC, so that's it. Yeah.
Mm.
And see, so
That's
big up
that's
Adam.
one of the reasons why he just looks so well on the pitch for us, is because of the favela settings that he has in him,
Yeah.
that work rate.
Like, of course, if you're dealing with other top European clubs, they're gonna charge you more. The likes of Atalanta, and so if you're dealing with a Serie A club, if you're dealing with a club in Liga, and if you're dealing with a club in the Portuguese league, like they're much more likely, even Eredivisie, they're much more likely to do that because they don't really. It's not really a money grab for them. Whereas for the teams in South America, to my knowledge, they don't have the most financial power, to my knowledge anyway. I don't know what the money is like in South American football, but I don't think it's too great. I could be talking from a place of ignorance, but to my knowledge, I don't remember there being too many. When you're trying to sign a player from South America, there's not too much back and forth, to my knowledge. But I could be wrong. Like I said, when there's the occasional player who goes for big money. Like I think Real Madrid just signed. Did they sign a 16-year-old from there? That was big money. I think Vinicius Jr. was big money. But even then, that's Brazil. Outside of that, there isn't. It's Brazilians, maybe Argentinians, but you're not going to Venezuela and spending. They're not asking for 100 M's. You're not going
I'll
to
get
Colombia and they're asking for 120 M's for a striker. They're not.
I'll
Go
get
on.
I'll get Edu to get you a Brazilian. It seems to be that's what we're getting at the
No.
moment.
I'm good on that. You know what? You and Edu can keep your Brazilian picks. Man said Edu. I'm good on that. I'm good on that. That's your thing. You know what I'm saying? That I'm good on that too. I'm good on that. And just to me, 3099 who says Mountain and Ciso occupy the same spaces. I wasn't saying, by the way, to sign and Ciso. I was just using him as an example in regards to when I said go pick up players from Paraguay. I'm just talking about South America is much bigger than Brazil. So you can go sign a striker. There's a striker kicking around who can do a job for Manchester United. And that's just there. You don't even have to be South American, be Asia. Or you can go Asia, you can go Africa. I'm saying go to the Caribbean, like go find
I'm
them.
a betting man, Flawless, bro. I will put money on it that any one of those players will get you 15 goals minimum for the season, bro. I'm telling you.
Are you
I
saying
could
across
put
all
money on
comps?
it.
Possibly, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Possibly.
bro. Because the
Possibly.
energy that they will bring, knowing that you're playing, for a club of Man United, if they take it serious in that sense, because I tend to realize a lot of the players nowadays, they don't understand the team that they play for. They just think it's just going to one team to the next. So if you can get those players that play for the badge, you will see a tremendous upgrade in the strike or the performance that the season will bring.
No, that's fair. And just to Miteshi says Murto won't come back from the favelas with a baller. He would find the next Fred. If we find a Fred level striker, I'm cool with that. I have no issue with that. As much as I want Fred gone now, it's because Fred should be fair choice midfielder. Like Fred should be 5th, 6th choice. there should be 4 or 5 midfielders ahead of him. If we can find someone, so if you take Fred's attributes, what he does defensively, and put that into a striker who's offensive as a third choice, who's 18, 19, I'm cool with that. I'm absolutely cool with that. I'm not asking for the creme de la creme. I'm asking someone to do a job from August to December. Legit, or August to
Fred in
January,
the
I should say.
box. Fred in the box is quite composed. I can't lie.
Yeah. This guy running bands. He's just running jokes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, see that. Don't
No,
take
as
him
a
serious,
striker,
people.
I'm just saying, as a striker,
Sure.
he's very composed
Sure.
as a midfielder in the box.
Jokers. You know what I'm saying? And that.
It might hit a pigeon or two, but yeah, we don't.
Yeah, you comedian. Yeah, this is Grim, by the way, for those that don't know. For those that may be new and don't know who Grim's been on before. Obviously, he's on pro clubs all the time as well. So you see him on those streams and you'll catch him on here being an Arsenal fan as well. But he says, question for Grim, where does he stand? Where do you stand with Arteta? And would you want him sacked if he doesn't win anything this season? Good question.
I think he needs to watch the last time I wasn't there.
Yeah, tell him because he on his
made. The last famous words I made was Arteta out. And I really have to say, Arsenal, I saw some record. I was surprised with my club being linked to spending 1 billion floors. Who would have thought Arsenal spending 1 billion? So an Arteta in that time, I don't know the numbers, but I would like to believe it's in the region of 500 million, right? And in spending that, I would say this season you need to ask questions. Because he said that give him 5 seasons, either he would win the Premier League or Champions League. I want to quote him right because this season is it's I would say die by the sword type of season for him. He has to pull up his plans and say, bro, get those players over the line. If he can't do it this season, because ideally it's his players.
Right. So what are you saying then? So let's say hypothetically, yeah, season's ended, Arteta's won nothing, no Premier League, no Champions League, no Carabao Cup, no FA Cup. You're in the position of power to sack him. Do you sack him?
I do. If you find yourself.
Go on, carry on.
Now, I was saying that you find yourself in a position that you haven't been in a long time, which is second flawless. This is the first time. A lot of people will also say it's been a long time and he's the reason to bring them into the Champions League. I think a lot of the game management and the way he orchestrated his team to perform could have gotten over that line a long time ago. One of the games being Everton. And the reason why I say that, Flores, is because I remember us playing that match where we was in total dominance. And he allowed the fans to not realize that you're allowing the fans to dictate the game and to not tell your boys, okay, cool, well, the fans have momentum, you need to switch it up. Once the fans, got the Everton fans, players a little bit hyped up because I think they had a stinker. They were going through a transition where they were losing quite a bit. And once they, I know Everton always play their best performance once they face us, but the fans was the one that helped them over the line. And as a manager, you have to be able to see those minor details and make changes. If it's, for example, bringing 5 at the back and say, lads, you know what? They're coming for a fight. Let's cut it off. And there's better times I've seen us being like 1-0 and stuff, and we'll play similar to how Wenger will try go for that second goal. So going into it, Forrest, I would say that this season, if he does not win nothing, he has to really go.
So you're saying you would sack him? Even so let's say it's not one of the majors. Let's say it's FA Cup or League Cup or both. Would you still sack him? So let's say he does a domestic double, but you don't win any of the majors and you finish 3rd or 2nd. Would you then sack him?
I would go. You see, this is the order that I would put it, Flawless. I was thinking about it the other day. I would say to myself that if I could win an FA Cup, right, quarterfinals or semis in the Carabao Cup, right, I would say finish 2nd in the Premier League again, and maybe a quarters or semis in the Champions League, because we haven't been there in a while. We have to be realistic with ourselves. It's kind of like, yes, testing the waters. Now, a lot of people will be like, Flawless, you saying testing the waters, but you're also saying get rid of the manager. But
yeah,
when
that's
you
what I'm
look
asking. You have the power to do that in this scenario, but go on.
Right. if Arteta is looking at himself based off the comments that he's made, he has to hold himself accountable as well. So for me, looking into that season, I would say for me personally, if it's me, I would say minimum of 2 of the lower division cups, which is being the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, and finishing second, and maybe a quarterfinals in there. Now I know we have not won the Carabao Cup in a while, so who am I to ask to win that? But with the money that you spend for this, right? You have to find yourself in a better position, because look at City, for example. That's one of the cups that they took to build that momentum going.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you can't get one of those cups, then surely you would have had a bad season again, because if anything, you spent more than the previous season, or you're going to spend more, because from the rumors being 2 more players are coming in, and technically you're improving your team. So you're gonna have to start asking, okay, cool, are you taking this team to finish first, or are you taking this team to finish second? And the way that you're spending, and the rumors that are going on, you're trying to compete with City. That's the rumors. Now, if you find yourself maybe second with like maybe 2 games and a deflection or something, that's unlucky for us. You know, one of them ones.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
You know, but if you find yourself in a position again, which the ball is in your court and you're in the latter stage of the season and you fumble it 3rd time in a row, like they say, 3 times strike and you're out, I have to say, call him out.
No, that's fair. Okay. Fair enough. Let's see what else you lot are saying. Hey, big up Out of Context Sarcasm City TV. I see you in the chat as well. Says Flawless. You got people calling me Mr. Suchek out here in these social media streets. You made me a star. Big bro. Hey, large up Out of Context Sarcasm City TV. I got you all the time, little bro, man. You already know that I'm just, I just wish the person who tagged me and took me out of context in that Suchek and what I was saying about Suchek being a better midfielder than Havertz, 1, tagged me in it, so I could have got my numbers up, and 2, actually took more of the clip rather than 30, 40 seconds. But we move, it's all well and good. Big up to round 17. I always say rounds, man. RDZ might not even stand for rounds, so I apologize, my guy. What he says is true. The less popular South American countries are untapped market. Facts. So easily go, like I said, to a Bolivia, a Venezuela, and go pick up a striker. You can do your job, like I said, from August to December. I mean, August to January, and maybe even slightly older. Maybe someone who's 2021. You just have some raw attributes that you can help mold. And he's not going to cost you out. If he costs you 5-10 million, calm. It's not, if it goes wrong, you're not like, oh my God, we lost 5-10 million. So I would still go and do that, like I said. But it is on the scouts and things of that nature. It really is. Let's see what else you lot are saying in the chat as well. Let me see. I want to get to some more questions as well. I should have started. I missed some. You lot continue to get your questions in the chat, please. Just please keep it Manchester United or Arsenal related as well. With Maino, I'm not getting too gassed up. You know why? Because we've seen this before with preseason. So I don't watch preseason like that. And I know how our fan base loves to gas up our youth players. And really and truly, 99.9% of them are not good enough. This is why the ones who stay here rarely make it, and then the ones that leave don't go on and achieve at the highest level. For anyone says, yeah, what about Pogba? What about PK? Or what about... They're exceptions to the rule, people.
We've been linked to Pogba, you know, Flawless.
Hey, yeah, take him, man. I'm saying. Take him.
It's another... That's my
lad. Injury, yeah, man. You got another injury prone French player.
Hey, we're going to get the French song back up again.
You want to run it back? Man. Yeah, man. That man can play that while they're sat on the physio table, man. You know what I'm saying? At Arsenal. That's all well and good. I hope, yeah, man. If you want injury prone French players, come take Martial in it.
Maybe we can have a good, luck of fortune being that similar to Van Persie, we have the best of them, you know.
Yeah, sure.
The best of Pogba.
Keep hoping, man. You know what I'm saying, a man who's played like 186 minutes in a season since he's been there or whatever. Joe R says, what would you say is a successful season for Højlund? I think 15 to 20 odd comps. Yeah, if he gets it, puts up those numbers and is a foil and is good for the team and the benefit and is a foil for other players as well. Yeah, 110% if he comes here and gets 15 goals. And yeah, Chin Lu. Yeah, Chi Lu. Even head to Asia like South Korea and Japan. Lots of talent out there and for cheap too. That's my point. So whether it's Asia, whether, like I said, it's South America, whether it's Africa, whether it's the Caribbean, you can go and scout in these, like someone said, untapped markets. These markets are not known. It's easy to go shop in Europe, but it's gonna cost you more. I'm saying, you telling me there's definitely a Highland level player out there that you can get. That's, you know what I'm saying. You're clearly new here who says don't disrespect Pogba just because your team fucked his career. I'm a big fan of Pogba, so you're new here, clearly. Huge fan of Pogba. Go back and check the tapes. Defended Pogba when he was being criticized unfairly, but there was no disrespect on his name. He's injury prone. He was injury prone when he was here. Ironically, my biggest issue with Pogba was that he couldn't stay fit when he was at Manchester United, and he's gone to Juventus and has played 186 minutes in a season or something like that. It's 186, 168. So we got to stop using words like disrespect. Where was the disrespect on Pogba's name, please? Tell me.
What's up with this French player's been injured, man? Bare alone on that. Martial, Pogba. Who else he had going up in there, bro? Oh, man. Back in the days where we had like Bill Clichy and all that, that man just used to be on the sidelines for no reason, bro.
Yeah. Am I in? My connection moving dodgy and that. Can you hear, man?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear
you. Yeah. Maino being hyped up like Zidane Iqbal was hyped up. Man, them don't ever learn. And it'll be, and out of context, Sarcasm City, bro, it'll be someone the season after, someone the season after that, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Vast majority of these youth players are not good enough for where Manchester United are trying to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? They're just not. And that's no disrespect. The vast majority of football players on planet Earth are not good enough for where Manchester United are trying to go. Same way with Arsenal. Manchester United and Arsenal are trying to reach the very top of the sport. There's like 1% of players who are actually good enough for that level. Arsenal are trying to win the Premier League and win the Champions League. Manchester United's aim to win the Premier League and Champions League. The odds of that coming through your youth system are slim to none. That's why there's very few youth players who come through Arsenal's academy or Manchester United's academy and actually get into the first team and hold down the first team place and are actually successful individually and have success in the side. Like Saka's an exception to the rule. Like that's not the norm. Rashford's an exception to the rule. But for every Saka was in a class of 20. Where's the other 19 players? And then where's the 20 players that were before Saka's class and after his class in years? There's 20 players, and it's probably more, but I'm just using it in 20s. There's 20 players in the class for every age group. So that's every year. Where's all these players? If you're getting 2, that's 2 out of 20. That's not a great return. Youth academies are very, very good, in particular Manchester United, Arsenal's and others that just producing professional footballers, whether that's at Premier League level, whether that's Championship, League 1, League 2, or elsewhere in Europe. Exceptionally good at that. You know what I'm saying? That's why they either get sold, whether it's for a big fee or a small fee, or when they get released, they get picked up by somebody else. Like Zidane Iqbal, he'll go and play. He'll play in Holland. How successful he is a whole different conversation. We let Angel Gomez go. He's still in France. And he'll play professionally. There's so many Manchester United Academy graduates kicking around. Same with Arsenal as well. Someone said in the chat they've released Ainsley Maitland-Niles. He'll get a game somewhere. 110%, like in terms of a team's going to pick him up. Like he's not going to leave the game type of thing. And yeah, just to clarify as well, Prime, when I said, August to January. Yes. Why January? You're trying to target Tony's return date? Yeah, literally. Yeah, Grim will be back in a second, but yeah, trying to target Tony's return date because that's what someone asked me, and I was saying Grim asked me about the strikers, and I said I'd go get Tony for January, and I'd sign 2 strikers for now, and then like I said, go get a Hoyland-esque striker, and then go get a teenager. But like I said, from whether it's South America, whether it's Asia, Africa, Caribbean, like some of these untapped markets, I like that. Go into these untapped markets. Go find a Son. Go find a Matoma. Go find a Kim Min-jae. And when I say this, I'm not talking about them players specifically in those positions. I'm just talking about those talents. Son and Matoma and Kim Min-jae ain't the only Asian players that are good over there. Like, Asia's a big-ass continent with a lot of countries. There's a lot of footballers over there. Go do your job and go do your due diligence. So I know I'm getting older because I sound like Roy Keane a lot when I say, go do your job. You're like I always say with scouting, it's an extremely tough job to do, but you are paid extremely well. This is why you're paid thousands upon thousands a year. No, thousands upon thousands a week. This is why you're on $5,000 a week, 10 grand a week, 20 grand a week, 50 grand a week, whatever it is. And you have all the resources at your disposal as well. You can go scout anyone anywhere in the world. Is it extremely tough to do? Yes. But like I said, there's a Son out there. There's a Matoma out there, without doubt. Let's see what else you lot are saying. Continue to get your questions in as well. Hopefully, Grim will be back. I think he was having some technical difficulties. Give me 1 second anyway. Yeah, Ainsley Maitland-Niles, he'll play like somebody's going to pick him up, probably in the Premier League. And like I say, that's where academies, that's where they make their bread and butter. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure they didn't have, let's not make this like what it is. Like, I'm sure Rance and James was cool. They both passionate, but I'm sure they're blessed. I'm sure it's nothing too deep between the two of them. Love to Rance. Shout out to James. Fuck with both of them. I'm sure it's fine out of context. Don't start spreading that. I don't think, without watching it, I don't think it was anything serious that can't be resolved. I'm not
Apologies
sure
for this, Forrest.
I
had Edu trying to mess with my Wi-Fi because I'm slandering Arteta's name.
Is that what it was? Yeah. That type of thing. No, I hear you. Flawless, do you think Onana is top 5 keepers in the Prem if he comes in? In my opinion, he's top 3. I don't know enough about him to assess him like that. I just think from what I've watched and then what I've heard from others, like I talked to Mo from Never a Foul, who's in a Milan fan, talked to others on this channel, the likes of Jez, who watch much more football outside of the Premier League. Like me, you got Prime, who's Serie A expert in the chat, big up Prime. So it's like I talk to people like that, and from what I've seen and what I've heard, I like the sound of what he's gonna do and the level he's at. But we'll see. But I can't say he's gonna be top 5 or top 3. I need to actually watch him week in, week out to fairly assess him against others. But he's definitely an improvement.
Flawless, is that Prime? Like the
that's Prime. Yeah.
Oh, big on Prime, man. Big on Prime, man. Big on Prime.
Yeah. 100%. And out of context, man, if they said, James streamed after and said they spoke after the stream, it's calm, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit gets heated. You know what I'm saying? And that, hey, Warrior J, big up, man. Always good to see you in the chat, man. Large up, man. Every single time. Large up, Warrior J. Like, the final few questions, people, before we close out. Flawless, what's your expectations for Anthony this season in terms of GNA? He had 11 GNA and 44 appearances last season. This is tough because I say I expect more, but I never put a number on it because I need more goals and assists from him. I need more impact. I need one, first and foremost, and he needs to be available more. I need more games from you. You got to get on the pitch more. In the words of basketball, you got to get on the court more. Like, you're just not. I think he played 23 matches in the Premier League. Not enough. I need at least 10 to 12 more than that. You got to be playing 33, 35 Premier League games if you're going to be the starting right winger. Secondly, definitely need more goals. Didn't get enough. Definitely need more assists. And then I need you to also pass the eye test as well, because I don't do either or, people. I'm not just eye test. I'm not just stat test. I'm both. Bring the stats if you're an attacking player. Also pass the eye test as well in terms of having impact on games when you don't get goals and assists and being a great foil for others as well as yourself. So it's both. But I can't really put a number on it, because the thing is you can have a fire start to a season. I can say, all right, he should get 10 goals. And then he can start out like a house on fire and get 6 goals in his first 10 games. And then for the next 28, get 4. That's not good enough.
I would say 4.
You get what I'm saying?
I would say minimum of 10.
8 games, because the thing is, though, the reason why I won't even say minimum of 10, let's say he starts off like a house on fire and gets 5 goals in his first 10 games. And then the other 28 games, he gets 5 goals. Even though he's got 10 goals, that's not a good return. You got 5 goals in 28 games. Tammy Abraham had a season like that for Chelsea where he was their top scorer before he left. And I think Prime will let me know, I think he got 15 goals. And 7 of them was like in the first 2 months or something like that. And then
I was thinking more Premier League base.
Now, even Premier League base, that's why I use them numbers. That's not enough, fam. Because that's what I just said there. You get 5 goals in your first 10 games. Phenomenal return for a winger. You're 1 in 2. And then the next 28 games, you get 5 goals. That's not good enough.
That's right.
But you've got the 10 that I've just asked for. So it's much more than just saying, all right, give me 10. Let's say if we go further and he got 15, and say he started off at a house on fire and he got, I don't know, it's not going to happen, but he's a goal, no, goal a game, that's wrong. But like in the first 10 games, he gets 10 goals. That's fire. And then the next 28 games, you get 5 goals.
Yeah. That's going back
enough.
that's going back to the point that you said it needs to pass the eye test and more. You know, someone can have 6 goals in one match, a 4 somewhere else, and then
man.
that's it, man. You're done.
4 and you can't go 6 in 4 and then go 1 in 10. Like what? But on paper that looks cool. Well, you got 15 goals this season. Yeah, but 10 was in the first 2 months of the season, and then the rest of the season he got 5. Like, that's you know what I'm saying. That's not good that's not good enough. You know what I'm saying? It's on to the point where you're getting 20, 25 goals where it's like, all right, you've scoring goals at a great rate that you've spread this out eventually. If you're getting, but I'm not asking him to get, wingers don't get 20 goals. That's Salah numbers. You know what I'm saying? I think Saka got that. I think Salah got that. How many wingers in the league? I think Rashford got that. That's unfair for me to go. But I don't think you're of that level. So that's why it's tough to say. But yeah.
Have you ever Forrest, you ever thought of Rashford as a centre forward at any stage in his career?
I think he can do a job there, but he's wasted. Because he impressed me this past season. Because this season you just gone was the first time I seen him play there, and I was like, you was effective here and you was good. He had that little stint under Ollie, but like this season he was legit like a target man and just like perform the centre forward role. But him overall there, no, he's a left winger, man. He's an inside forward.
Left winger. Yeah, that's like Jesus, but just put him on the wing, bro. I ain't got time for that. Just put him on the wing.
But Prime's got a question for you. He says, big up, green question for you. I know you kind of mentioned it, but you got here late. He says, what's your thoughts on Arsenal striker situation? Do you think Arsenal need to upgrade on Jesus, or should Saka, Martinelli, Trossard, and Odegaard be scoring more? It's a good question still.
So we would go with you see, with Jesus, I would say this is the season where if he wants to roll for himself, he has to take that. And I say that because he says he wants to be the striker. He wants to be that guy. That's basically what he said in his interview. And he's never been that guy at the top. And seeing him play in a CDM position today was shocking. You know, if you're trying to score them goals and you're so far back, I can't really trust that. You won't see, strikers of high caliber finding themselves not in the box on the end of the goal or the end of the ball to get the goal. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it, I would say this will be the season I'll give him one more season, and then I will make my judgment. Ideally, in a world that is not realistic, I would definitely get, if I could, I would get Osimhen. This is the only striker that I'm looking at in terms of what I want for my team, the type of wingers that we have. I think if we were to get Osimhen, we'll be able to make Saka better, make Martinelli's better, and overall, because once the striker is finishing those chances, you can easily get those 15 assists or those 20 assists that we're talking about, or chipping in the goals. I think Saka has reached a stage as well in terms of he needs to not be that star boy Saka, but probably that man that he needs to go away from that star boy and really just become a man and say, you know what, I'm going to that next level. Because if you really think about it, if everyone had him for that penalty that he missed, if he scored that, he could have been in a better position. So I would say that for him, he really needs to, if he wants to be that guy, he needs to, I would say, a minimum. I've never seen it with him score 20 goals, but I would say that should be his target. If I was Saka, I would personally put that as my target, as 20 goals for the season. And with Martinelli being my favorite Arsenal player, I think this guy has such a high ceiling to perform.
So you're on the Martinelli, but you're like Martinelli.
Yeah, that's my Arsenal. That's my favorite. It'll be Martinelli, Gabriel, and Saliba. That's my three guys I enjoy watching playing the game for Arsenal. So with Martinelli, I really believe if we were to put him in a role, maybe if we don't give Jesus a chance, I put Martinelli centre forward next season. If we are to do changes, but ideally I see Martinelli because he's very composed when it's a one-on-one chance for us, and as a centre forward, that would come ideally because you're running through the middle of the pitch. If you can find, for example, Odegaard making the passes to him, or even just the 5 yard sprint before he starts going through on goal. There's a lot of centre backs that can't keep up with Martinelli if he's playing off the shoulder, and I don't think we utilize it enough. And when we do, he has so much time to think what he gonna do. He can he can cross it to someone to put easy tap in. So for me, I really believe that this season again, I expect Martinelli to go on to that next level, similar to Saka, like to be the starters and to say, okay, cool, we are one of the best wingers in Europe. And then I would also set a target with him having 20 goals for the season as well, because with Martinelli, I can see he has the ability to do that.
Okay, fair. So you're sold on him. All right, that's fair enough then. I get what you're saying.
But they know
so
what
you're looking for, yeah, go on.
But I was saying, I don't know if you were. I don't think he was there when I mentioned Trossard. Trossard's like a favorite player. I would say put him in the 10 instead of Odegaard, but that's just my opinion on it. But even if Odegaard was to play, he has to find those wingers. Like I said, there's no point in having wingers that are willing to run behind the defensive line, because if you think about it, not a lot of wingers try to do that nowadays, and to have that, you have to utilize it. So Odegaard really needs to step up. Maybe I wouldn't say working on his part. He needs to step up working on his passing based off watching him and the decisions that he's making, or shoot more. But he needs to find his wingers and interact with them more to, I don't know, make him that better player that he needs to be.
All right, first. I don't know. All right, fair enough. Football is the game says, before we close out, actually, people, we're at 71 likes. Big up to you lot for hitting the like mark. Let's get us up to 80 likes. Let's bump that. And we're currently one short of the subscriber mark. We're at 7,000. Let me just double check this, actually. Just refreshing. We're at 7,184. We're looking for one more subscriber. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't. Indeed. And if you want me to stop interrupting the conversation and stopping the flow, don't be like Havertz, you know what I'm saying, when the ball's in transition, then you like just hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, and I would just keep it. If we was at 90
is that all season? Are you going to be saying this all season for us?
Absolutely. But yeah,
for us, yeah.
Don't get mistaken. I use Mount as well. They're in the same boat. You know what I'm saying? And don't think I'm just like biased. Like I will crash on Mount as much as I crash on Havertz.
No, I know that.
Ironically, what I used to say is, what's this Chelsea Chelsea's attacker conversion rate? But now we signed two of Chelsea's attackers who were partly responsible for that poor conversion rate. So here we are. You know what I'm
similar
saying?
Similar to us, man. We got the same, legit, man.
That's what it is. So yeah, I'll use Havertz, I'll use Mount. When Chelsea fail to score goals, I'll use them. It just depends who I'm feeling like taking a shot at that day. Depends if United.
They deserve it, bro. They deserve
100%. If United had played that day and I'm pissed off, I'll probably use Mount. You know what I'm saying? And that if it's you lot had lost embarrassing Havertz, Chelsea had just drew 0-0 to Luton away, it'll probably be them. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. But like I was saying, if it was at 90 or 100 likes and was at 7,180 subscribers, people, I would stop interrupting. But I have to do this to you lot. You know what I'm saying? Not the regulars. And I know some people actually, it's on accident, because I do it watching, where I just be watching some YouTube content and I forget to hit the like button, simply because I'm just engaged in what's going on. Football is the game says, question to the panel. Do you think Saka is world class, or does he have to do it? 1 second. Or does he have to do it in the Champions League and match last season's output? You go to this first. This is a good question, but I'll let you, Grim, as the Arsenal fan, go to this one first.
I think the word world class for us has been used too much in this generation in time. I really believe world class means that you have done it on a stage where it's beyond the unthinkable. That's why I would put world class. Do I think it's world class? Not yet, no. Do I think he has potential to get to reach that level? For sure, 100%. But then, everyone wants to do the stats things, like this is how many stats he has, this is what he can do.
it shows the wrong picture, and I really hope that Saka don't fall into the stats player, because it's only gonna hinder his progression up top, playing world class level. But nah, I don't think he's world class yet. Nah, that word world class has been used a bit too much, in my opinion.
You don't think he's world class yet? With me, because he did have a great season this season. I'm trying to remember what he did last season, because I can't just go off one season. I'm just
Are you hearing the word itself?
Yeah. This is
bro.
why I'm just like, I'm doing my due diligence and doing my research in terms of he is only 21. So like this season, exceptional. No doubt about that whatsoever. I'm trying to let me have a look here. Season before, because I don't remember the 21 to 22 season too tough. Not saying he was bad, but the numbers are not too dissimilar. Obviously, he played 38 games, 11 goals in the league as well. He got 12 in 43 overall. This season, he got 14 in 38, 15 in 48 games overall. So no, I would say he's on the. He now has to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Now's the time. Like you're on the cusp. Like I put him in the. Before world class for me, this is just my criteria, people. Before I put you in the world class, I have the top class bracket underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And I have great, and I have good, and then so forth and so forth. I put him in that top class bracket. Whereas behind Salah, he's probably the second best right winger in the league. He's one of the best right wingers in Europe. Now you have to do it again. Now the pressure is on to deliver for Arsenal again in the Premier League. Not so much in terms of a Premier League title, but one, get them back in the race. Two, deliver with goals and assists. You have to continue to be consistent. Your numbers either have to be the same or better. Champions League as well. Big stage now. If you go and get Arsenal to, let's say Arsenal get to the semi-finals, but Saka has an incredible run. Even if it's not against teams who are the greatest, but let's say it's against teams in and around Arsenal. Guess what? I go, you know what? Then he's put up or shut up. This is the season where I can put him in that world-class bracket. But for now, I say he's top class. But that's not because I don't think he's good enough to be world-class, people. So I'm not hating. I'm saying I just need to see more. Because I don't think he had a world-class season this season. I don't think he had a world-class season, to my knowledge, the season before, but he had very good seasons, top class. He's put 2 very good seasons back to back, which puts you into the top class bracket. But now you're at a big boy table now. Now there's expectation on your name in terms of what Arsenal did and what you helped Arsenal lead and the run you had, and Arsenal getting a record points total at the halfway, and Champions League as well. That matters. Because we've seen better players than him disappear in that competition.
Now you have to stand up. I've not been that stage. Yeah.
And I'm not saying against City or Real Madrid or necessarily Bayern Munich. I'm saying you play PSG, be the difference maker. If Neymar's on the other side, you be the difference maker. If Mbappe's on the other side, be the difference maker. Or I'm trying to think. If you're playing Napoli, for instance, and you've got Osimhen and I can't pronounce his name, the winger. Everyone knows who I'm talking about. I can't, but yeah, the beginning with K. Go beat him over 2 legs, because it's gonna get billed as head to head between you and Osimhen, or you and KK, or you and Jesus versus those two or whoever. Go and be the difference.
Even Vinny.
Yeah, if you play Real Madrid, of course, go be the. Even if you lose, have impact.
The question, this is the question I would give to the.
Before you carry on, I got to big up the legend and the stream, Dave, in the building. Shout out to Dave in the building every single time. For those that don't know, legend in the building. Hey, Dave, thank you for becoming a member as well, man. Much appreciated, my guy. Big up, love for that. Yeah, go on, carry on, Grim.
Big up, Dave, man. I was saying in terms of that's the question for everyone, right? Can Saka bench Vinicius Jr.? If you want to ask the question about world class, can Saka bench Vinicius Jr.?
To me, no. Obviously, they play opposite sides, but I get why you're asking that question. To me, no, but that's not a shot at Saka. That's why I said, even if Arsenal are to play Real Madrid in the Champions League and Arsenal lose, let's say Arsenal, they draw the first leg 2-2, and then they go to the Bernabeu and they lose 3-1. What was Saka's impact in those 2 games? The same way we've seen Mbappe lose a World Cup final, but his status went up.
Yeah.
Because he stood up for his team when needs be. Minus the first 60, 70 minutes of that game where he was anonymous and I was looking at him funny, he stood up. He dragged that team to the extra time. He was a difference maker even though he was on the losing side. People think it's all about winning. No, when you're world class, it's about impact. This is
But
what I said. Is
that's why I
impact.
asked a question for this, because that's why I asked that question. I'm saying in terms of impact. For example, if you're playing in a Champions League final and you have Vinicius Junior and Saka, and you have the last 20 minutes and you won one and you want someone to win the game, who are you going to bring in?
I'm saying Vinny, but that's me.
Right. I'm saying Vinny, even though Saka is star boy at Arsenal. And the reason why we're saying that is because we've seen that the levels Vinny can take. And it's all going to the point where Saka, personally, have not seen those levels yet. Where it's close. It's very close. Don't get me wrong. It's very close in terms of ball retention and all of that. One of the best in the league for us. You know, in terms of holding the ball, dropping the shoulder and all of that, I got to give it to him. But in terms of like put him in the same category as best wingers in the Vinny's categories, remember what you said a while ago? You said he eating at the dinner table, he got invited to the party. That's just it. He just got invited to the party.
Yeah. He's at the party now, like, okay, you're here. This is now your opportunity to show you belong.
That's
here.
it.
Where you're at there, like,
and
that
you gotta
type
take
of thing.
it.
Yeah, and I get it. So yeah, good question. Football is the game, and yeah, I cut off Grim, but he wasn't saying that. What he was basically saying was, yeah, we don't look at Saka as we look as a Vinicius Junior, and that's right. But hey, man, large up Dave, like I said, for becoming a member again, much appreciated. Shout out to Jez in the cut as well, man. Large up Jez every single time as well. Let's see what else. Any more streams? That's me because I'm talking about Dave. Any more questions, people? Please just keep them Manchester United or Arsenal related as well. And don't forget this show, people, and all the other shows on the channel, on the YouTube channel, apart from Watch Alongs, are available on audio only platforms. That being said, all the shows on here and on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch, apart from Watch Alongs and apart from fan calling shows. So any watch alongs and fan calling shows, they're the only shows you don't get on audio only platforms. But everything else, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Sarcasm City TV and the shows will pop up. I drop the link. All the links are underneath in the chat. I will drop the links. All the links are underneath in the description, but I'll drop all the links in the chat for you lot in a second. But yeah, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes. So if you want to listen while you're working, while you're cooking, while you're cleaning, while you're on your way to work, you might just not want to have the YouTube app open. You might be driving in your car. Podcast in traditional podcast means that's absolutely fine, people. So like I said, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts or wherever you listen to music, type in Sarcasm City TV and it will pop up with all the shows, people. Yeah, Prime. This is the best thing to say. Yeah, Saka was invited to the party. Now it's time for us to show us why he was even invited in the first place. This is it. And this isn't me being a United fan and hating. I'm saying this is your moment. Show us why you're here. You know what I'm saying? Big up Jacob as well. And Jacob, yeah, I know the Napoli winger. I just can't pronounce his name. That's why I don't. They just say everyone knows who I'm talking about. Where do you all see Havertz's best position going forward, and whose spot is he taking? Also, what does this mean for Trossard? Question for you, Grim.
At his house, in his front room. That's where his best position is. Just stay there. Don't come on the pitch, dog. We're good. We're good, dog. I'm telling you. Get me one of the academy players, Flawless. Get him in. He will do a 10 times better job than Havertz, bro. Don't put him nowhere there. Flawless, I'm already scared for the season, bro, to be watching what I watched today, bro. And I know it's only pre-season. Isn't that mad, bro?
Nah, I hear you, fam. You should be worried.
Nah,
I'd be very concerned.
If his best position, I don't. They said when he played for Leverkusen, right? Was it Leverkusen he played for?
Yeah, by Leverkusen. Yeah, that was his team.
Right.
Before.
When he played there, they said his best position was false 9-8 wherever he played.
I don't even know, man. Like he's just not very good. He's just not very good.
So for example, you guys taking that opportunity to revitalize that moment that he had, similar to like what they're trying to do, like revitalize Havertz. Not sorry, I would say, what was his name again? At Real Madrid.
Who? Oh, Vinicius Junior.
No. The one they bought for so much money, Chelsea. Oh, everyone knows.
Oh, Eden Hazard.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Just what they need to say for us, man. That's the one right there. When you look at it, it is absolutely
horrendous, bro. But I don't want that type of football. I don't want it nowhere near, bro. Havertz can go in the bin, bro, for all I care, bro. That waste of money, man, bro. I'm telling you, Arsenal, they might just give their man free money for no reason. He has no best position, bro. Trust me, none.
Facts.
And I'm not even someone to criticize someone like that. And if you come in, you put in a shift, solid 7. If you're solid 7, for example, I got players on my team, Florence, that I could be bashing. Like, for example, Eddie, what's his name? Elneny, right?
Oh,
Elneny,
yeah.
right? I can bash him, but I know he's just a solid 5-6 type of player. That's just what he can give you. I'm not gonna bash him and say, bro, can you give me an 8 or 9 if I know he can't do that? And that's exactly what they're trying to do with Havertz, bro. They're trying to make it that 8 and 9 player when he's just a 6 at best match rating every game.
He's not even that. That's being generous. He's awful, especially in midfield. He's a dreadful signing. It's dreadful.
Bro, we were running up the pitch, bro, and the man was trying to keep up with our attackers, bro.
Yo, man, he's dreadful, man. He's just no physicality, no technicality, no mental attributes. Like I said, I break it down in threes in terms of physical attributes, mental attributes, technical attributes. Physical, forget about it. Mental, forget about it. Technical, decent at the attacking technical attributes, because people only want to associate technical attributes with everything offensive, like there isn't defensive technical attributes. That's another misconception. Oh, he's technically better. No, he's technically better from an attacking standpoint, because there is defensive attributes.
I don't want people to get
like tackling is a defensive attribute. Heading the ball technically that's both defensive and offensive. My marking to an extent is a technical attribute. Like what we talk about, people only want to associate technical attributes with ball control, first touch.
Nah, I don't want people to get confused for this. I want him to shine. By all means, you wearing the badge, bro. I want you to shine. I want you to prove me wrong. I want you to be like, I've scored goals. Who are you to judge me? You know? Who are you? I want you to be that guy. Score the goals. Get my team in a position where everyone's talking about our name in good words. I want you to be that guy. But on the eye test and watching football for quite a while now and seeing how it should be played, I really don't know where people are getting this whole idea that Havertz is a baller. I don't get it. I really don't get it.
Because you know what it is? Because he's left-footed. That tricks a lot of people. Because he's left-footed and he quote-unquote, this is the one, silky.
He's one of the worst left-footers I've seen in my life.
Yeah, he's left-footed and silky. Because the Jason who says you can't trust attacking players at Chelsea, you just sound like Kai Havertz haters. Why are we hating? Why? Someone else said that to me. And I already flipped that in regards to, you're hating on Pogba. Why every time we say something that...
Flawless, let me answer this here for us, right?
Yeah, go on, you go.
If he's Chelsea's best player, why are they selling him, my guy? Why are you selling him? If it's if he's going to, he finished what, 13th? He was 12. Part of the problem. 12? He was part of the problem.
Facts.
Yeah.
And
a lot of the players, and the reason why I say that is because you can see players, for example, like Enzo Fernandez and other players and Rich James when he wasn't injured, you can see the difference between those players and who's good and who's not. But with Havertz, he was stinking out the place with the rest of the players that was doing bad. So why would I want that at my club? If I'm saying, for example, Declan Rice, you look at Declan Rice, he's one of the best out the bunch. So that's why we're taking him. So why would I take one of the worst players in the bunch to bring to my club? That doesn't make sense. I'm going for the best of the best. I'm in a position, like Florence said, with Arsenal, everyone trying to compete and win it. Whether or not we win it or not, I don't know. But all we can do, there's no point in going into competition if you're not trying to win it. Yeah. That doesn't show any form of character about yourself or winning mentality or anything of the sort. So when you look at it, for us, you have to say to yourself that that some of the questions people ask us, I say, is just mad, because it really shows that if you guys are rating those players, they're
not good. Because look, even man said, "Hey, did you ever watch Kai Havertz in the German league and look at his stats for Germany compared to Chelsea?"
No,
I don't care about. I don't care about what he did in Germany. Same way as a Manchester United.
He's at my club now, bro.
Yeah, I don't care what Jadon Sancho did in Germany. What are you doing in England in the Premier League where you are currently applying your trade?
Facts.
If this was any other job, And it was like, oh, well, he did well in another country. No, what are you doing with this? If you're a builder, if you're an engineer, if you're an architect, if you're an Uber driver, whatever, don't give me what you did in another country. What did you do in this country where you are currently applying whatever trade? Content creators, what was your shows like? Don't tell me about, oh, what was shows like was in Germany. No, what were your shows like in England? That's what it is. But again, hella excuses.
What I was saying, yeah,
it's not good.
When I'm looking at Kai Havertz, the number one question I ask myself is, what is your best attributes? And I tell you, I can't fathom or to stop where I'm going to stop, bro. I can't, I'm telling you. When I think about it, I say, okay, cool. What is your best attributes? Hold the play? No. Passing? No. Reading of the game? No. What is it, bro? I can't figure it out.
Yo, man can't even tell you his best position. That tells you all you need to know. There's no quality player where we don't know where he plays. Like, actually, before I get to this, big up to Dave as well, man, who just gifted out 5 memberships. Hey, Dave, much appreciated. Big up. Make sure if you're in the chat, I know Kaneki you already have, but he gifted out 5 subs to Emma K, Kaneki, Noz, RJ, and Jared as well, Jared Rago as well. So make sure if you're in the chat and Dave's gifted out 5 subs, one of those subs to you lot, make sure you appreciate that. Hey, Dave, man, legend for true, man, much appreciated.
Big up, Dave, man. Blessings.
Yeah,
Blessings.
There's no player we talk about of quality where we don't. We just spoke about Saka being world class. Everyone can tell you where Saka plays. We all know what Saka's position is. He world class?
Yep.
Like, that's not gonna happen. But again, with Kai Havertz, is always just mental gymnastics or what he did.
I guarantee you, there's no kid.
Okay.
There's no kid right now. When I'm looking at my nephew, you know, my nephew's a big Man United fan, Flawless. And, you know, today he sent me a voice note saying that Mason Mount at the carpet. I was like, bro, you don't want to be saying that as my nephew, bro. Surely I need to teach you some football, my guy. But when you look at, tell you, Flawless, man, it's.
And here's the thing is, and people keep saying this, Jason says, Flawless, fair point, but have you seen this before as soon as players leave Chelsea? What Chelsea attackers left and gone to a Premier League side and had success? People use this because a player drops down a level. So I guarantee you're going to mention Timo Werner, who went and played, who's currently at Leipzig, which is a drop down. Manchester United, Arsenal are trying to compete at the highest level. So name a player who's struggled at Chelsea as an attacking player, gone elsewhere in the Premier League and had success at the highest level. Don't happen. Because them attackers are just not that good. They're not that good. They're really not.
I don't. What is the whole thing? I take it that it's Chelsea fans trying to back their guy, right?
I don't know who Jason. Actually,
how comes
Jason,
you didn't?
Another thing is, who do you support as well? I don't know who you support. I actually genuinely don't know.
No, because I tend to find a lot of people back Kai Havertz for this, to be honest, and I want to know as to why that is. And
hope, fam. And it's hope. That's why. It's just straight hope. That's why people back Kai Havertz. It's hope. Same way people back Mason Mount. But if me and you did this show the week after the Champions League, and I sat here and said, you know what, Manchester United need to get back to the top, Mason Mount, and you responded and said, you know what, I think Arsenal need to get back to the top, Kai Havertz, we would have got laughed at, ridiculed, called.
He scored 31 goals in 156 appearances.
Well, that's all Chelsea's fault. It's all Chelsea's fault. Yeah,
imagine that.
It's all Chelsea's fault. I'm saying he has no responsibility. I take into account Chelsea having terrible attackers, but yeah.
Oh, not the chances he misses as well.
Oh, you're a City fan. All right, Fairs. He said Flawless was Torres not good for Liverpool, then bad for Chelsea. That's years ago, number 1 and 2. Injuries got up with Torres. But let's get back to the point. I asked you a question, Jason. You said Chelsea attackers leave and have success elsewhere. I said, name them attackers. Let's do this. If we're going to say things, people, then we have to stand on what we're saying. So who are these attackers that left Chelsea and went on to succeed at the highest level? Where? Who? Like name them in the Premier League. Bear in mind, and Prime, I've got Prime's mentioned some attackers. Giroud actually had some success at Chelsea. He won them trophies. He's a good striker for you, lot. Who are these other strikers? Lukaku failed. Werner failed. You know what I'm saying? Willian not at the highest level.
We can go back to one of the biggest signing for
Tammy's at Roma. Like, come on, man.
Do you remember what was it? Oh, I'm trying to find out his name. Apologies, bro.
It's cool.
So the striker that they had before, bro, back in the days, bro, Shevchenko.
Yeah, even if you go back that far, it's kind of like that's a whole. But I don't even want to go back that far. I want to go recent times because we're talking
Yeah.
Kai Havertz like he's 10 years ago. He's now. Kai Havertz is recent. So if we're saying all Chelsea, so who are these Chelsea attackers that left and went on to have success elsewhere at the top level? Not one of them. Not one of them. Giroud had success there, so I don't count him. He was a success at Chelsea. Did he not help? Prime, you'll know this. Did he not help you pick up a couple trophies? Swear he won the FA Cup and Europa League there as well. Like, what are we talking about? Like, stop making excuses for a player who's just not good enough. He's not a good striker. He's not. You don't even know what he is. That's the crazy part. The manager don't even know what he is. That's why the manager said today, I will have to see where he best fits. Now, if you give Arteta Declan Rice, guarantee you he's not saying that. After the first preseason game, he's not saying, I don't know. He knows exactly where he's going to play Declan Rice and where he sees him best fit. What are we talking about?
But for us, looking at it, I saw they were saying that we've been linked to Chelsea, have been linked to Balogun, and I really hope that Arteta did not put that. We give you, we take Kai Havertz off of you, and then we give you Balogun in the deal. I really hope that's not the case, bro, because that is just pure madness. I go back to the time when I said I can see what he's trying to do for us in terms of playing, trying something out with a striker playing in an 8 where he has ample amount of space to kick it 35 yards out or whatever it be. But he's not that guy to do that role, end of the day. That's just it. Like I said earlier on, you might as well just put Trossard in that position and get it over and done with.
Exactly. And see, Prime says it here. This is why it's good to have other fans. Giroud was vital in us winning the FA Cup, Europa League, and was top goal scorer when you won the Champions League. So Giroud was a success there. So how come Giroud can be a success there? Because he wasn't around top quality attackers. I bet if minus, I think, Eden Hazard, I don't think any of them players were exceptional attacking players. Prime will know better. I could be wrong, but to my knowledge, they're not. Like he had Eden Hazard around him, cool. To my knowledge, the rest of those attackers were nothing special, but Giroud still performed to a level. So why can't Havertz? Why can't Mount? Why can't Werner? You know why? Because these players are just not that good. That's why. Havertz, Werner, Mount, and I'm not being biased because I mentioned a player we just signed. I really dislike the excuse, and it's very lazy and say, the team is around him bad. Is it a factor? Yes. Having a poor team around you is a factor. Well, having a poor team around you, if you are quality, you should still shine through. You should still put up numbers. Same way when me and Rams last week did the Manchester United Liverpool show, not this one just gone, last week show people. And people said, Mount was around terrible attackers. I said, Mount got 8 open play assists in 4 years. So I asked Ram, and I could do the same with Grim, but I'm not going to because we're going to go. I said, Ram, name the best player, attacking midfielder outside of the Premier League. He named whoever it was. I said, if you put him in the exact same predicament as Mason Mount, with the same manager, same system, same players, does he get more than 2 open play assists? He said yes. Then I asked him his second one. Then I asked him his third. We got all the way down to 10. And he was like, yeah. And then the person in the chat said, how can you compare Mount to these players? So why can't I compare Mount to top level players? That lets you know that Mount is nowhere near the level required. And Manchester United not aiming for the top. Why? Because if I could sit here and compare, I can compare Casemiro to any DM in Europe. Any DM in the league, any DM in Europe. I can argue a genuine case for Casemiro being better, whether you agree or disagree. So why is that not the same for every position? I can do that with Lisandro Martinez. I can do that with Varane. I can do that with an extent with Rashford. I can't do that with the rest. And then people wonder why we fall short and why we can't win a second-tier European competition and why we're nowhere near Premier League. Or you can't compare Mount to these players. So if we can't compare him to top players, why are we signing him for 60 million? Man has 8 open play assists in 4 years. But again, people don't want to have these conversations. They don't, because we've seen
what are they expecting? What are they expecting with Kai Havertz? Are they expecting like he's gonna get like 20 goals a season or 15 assists, or because the way they're
Nothing, man.
talking, like he's going to be getting those stats?
He
Like,
ain't going because he don't put up numbers nowhere. But they think in Arteta's system, because Arteta's improved players, like we've mentioned, like a Ben White, for example, Odegaard, Martinelli, Saka, and Jesus, that he's going to do that, not knowing that all the players we mentioned have talent, in particular attacking players. Like Jesus
but
is a
when,
better player than Havertz, as is Martinelli, as is Saka, as is Odegaard, as
but
is
we see
Trossard. Like, what we do?
with Flawless here, did he really make these players better? Martinelli is from Emery, right? Which his ceiling was
Fair?
already
I'd say he got a good season out
on
of
the
him, man.
high.
I'd say he
And then
definitely got a good season out of him. I would say Martinelli. He definitely got a great season because he got the players performing. So I have to give Arteta credit. Because if you lot were in Chelsea's position, we'd be here criticizing him, saying he made those players worse.
it's
If
true.
you lot finished
It's
12th,
true. You gotta give
we'd
him
be
that.
saying how Martinelli, Saka, Jesus, Odegaard, so the fact that you lot went on the run you did and should have won the league, you had these players playing at a high level. So I gotta give Arteta credit for that. I do. But yeah, that's just me. And yeah, this is what it is. They're in stage 1, finding his position already, man. Preseason game 1, and there's already conversations about his position, and that's from the manager. That's not even one of us. That's not me or Grim mentioning that, or Lewis or Prime or somebody, or Cam or somebody else or another content creator. That's the manager saying that. Game 1, people. We'll see where he best fits. Now, if they sign Vinicius Jr. tomorrow, do you think there's going to be conversation about where he best fits? Or is he just taking Martinelli's place? Come on, man. What we doing?
Come on.
What we doing? You know what I'm saying? You sign Declan Rice. If that gets announced tomorrow, there's no conversation about where he's playing. Where we'll see best where he fits. He's in the midfield.
The proof is in the pudding. They saved the best for last. If Kai Havertz was in that category, they would have saved that signing for last. As simple as that.
Yeah, it's mad. You know what I'm saying? It's mad the way people just be. But yo, anything you want to add before we close out, fam? We're gonna close out now. Great shows. Always great chopping it up with you.
Big up to everyone, man. Big up yourself for this, man. I hope Arsenal, can, I would say, 2 more signings. Let's get 2 more signings in. I'm happy with the ones that we have at the moment, and I look forward to a good season, man.
Yeah, man. You're going to see Grim again on here as well, people, in regards to the United Arsenal show. You'll also see him on the Pro Club streams as well throughout the season, and even when it changes to FC, the EA
24?
FC 24, yeah. So yeah, even when it goes that, because they got clubs on that and it's crossover. But hope you lot have enjoyed the show. Big up to Dave, not only for joining the membership, but also gifting the membership, and also blessing us with his legendary presence in the chat. Big up to all the regulars, big up all the new people, big up all the members. Love, whether we agree or disagree. I love to see you lot in the chat. Big up to everyone who's just watching and not in the comment section. Whether you agree or disagree with me, that's calm, or me or Grim. You lot just continue to support in the way you have, man. Numbers, we had way over 100 in here. Big up as well. Flawless, do you think title challenge for who? United or Arsenal? No, not with Kai Havertz in your midfield, and definitely not the way Manchester United are constructed. Big on my guy Jacob, United Spurs of America. You'll see me on his channel again probably next week, so make sure you subscribe to his channel as well. We're back today, people, 4:30 p.m. UK time for the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A. So 4:30 p.m. So I'll be answering all your sporting questions, not just Manchester United and Arsenal, not just football. And then 10:30 p.m. The Man United podcast. So myself, Eddie will be on there. The young G Nero will be on there as well. And then 12:30 a.m. on the Twitch, bringing the boxing show back, people. So if you're a boxing fan, you're going to love this show being back. Big fights, big nights only podcast. Big fights, big nights only podcast is back. So we'll be discussing AJ versus White 2, Usyk versus Dubois, Fury versus Ngannou, Spence versus Crawford, plus more. And how it will run is before big bouts on the Saturday, we'll run the preview stream on the Friday on the Twitch, 12:30 a.m. And then you'll get a recap either the Saturday night, half an hour after the bout, or it'll be the Sunday or the Monday at 2 a.m. But more often than not, you'll get it Saturday night. So like I said, previews, 12:30 a.m. on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. And then recaps will be like half an hour, 45 minutes after said bout. So we're going to bring the boxing show back. And even when the season starts back, you're going to get that, people. Told you, man, we're going into overdrive. Like, we are not slowing down, people. Like, we just gaining speed. We've got the F1 show over there on Twitch as well. I'm sure the NFL show will be back. We got the NBA over on the Twitch, and then you got all the shows here. And think about it, people. You get all these shows now. and then adding watch-alongs. So you're going to get Manchester United watch-alongs here, Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, all on the YouTube channel. And then on the Twitch, you're getting all the non-Manchester United Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, and League Cup games all over on the Twitch. So you're getting like 4 or 5 watch-alongs a weekend, people. I'm saying like that first weekend, Friday we'll do that City game. Saturday you'll get the early kick and the late kick. Sunday you'll get the early kick and the late kick, and then Monday you'll get the United game. That's 5. You know what I'm saying? We're not stopping. Wait, is that 5? No, that's 6. I'm saying you don't know my maths ain't my strong suit, but we move. Well, Grim, anything else you want to add? Again, I always love chopping it up with you, fam.
But big up everyone now, man. No, definitely for us. You know what? If you don't get that striker this season, I think it's more of the same for you, man. I think that's I think that's the
facts.
point.
Facts.
After getting the goalkeeper, which you needed to sort out for a while,
100%.
you know, big up the guy as a career that he had. You know, he can lift his head up high, man. You know, it's a shame how it ended in the latter stage of himself, but still. But definitely, you guys, if you guys can get your next focus on a good striker,
100%.
yeah, you have to, man.
All right, we're gonna close out, people. Love to everyone that's locked in. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and this has been the Manchester United Arsenal show. Man United podcast meets Gonna Talk from the Arsenal podcast live on the Sarcasm TV YouTube. Thank you very much for tuning in.